If you're currently renting and are debating whether or not you should buy a home, this video is for you. Hey everyone, it is Shelly Killinger from the Shelly Killinger Group at RE/MAX CSI. Today we're going to talk a bit about a common debate that we hear a lot. Should I rent or should I buy? We talk to customers frequently who have been renting for a while, and we find that they go back and forth a lot on whether it's really worth it to rent or whether they should try to buy their first home. They often have concerns about the risk that they're taking investing in a new home, about the credit score they'll need to qualify for the loan, and concerns regarding how much down payment they will need. We find, however, that most of the time consumers don't have access to the information that they need to help them make that decision. So that's why we decided to put together this little video. We hope that we can answer some of those questions for you today. So over the past 2 years, we've actually seen a lull in the increasing rental rates, which have caused many renters to stay put. Rental rates were really going up there for a while, but the last 2 years they've really stayed put. So experts are predicting that rental rates are going to start increasing again, which might lead more renters to purchase a new home. So let's take a moment and think about the following scenario. Let's imagine you are renting for the next 5 years at the rental rate of $1,300 per month, which is actually pretty common. You will spend, believe it or not, $78,000 in rent over the next 5 years. $78,000, and you won't even own the place. Now let's flip that scenario on its head and imagine you're purchasing a home this year and you own it for the next 5 years. A $150,000 starting home, which is pretty much the average purchase price of a starter home in Pittsburgh, with a 5% down payment, is going to put you right around $1,000 a month in mortgage and taxes, which is actually less than you'll be paying in rent by $300 a month. On top of that, we're expecting home values to appreciate by 23.4% over the next 5 years. This means on an entry-level house, you could actually increase your net worth by over $35,000. Take a moment to let that sink in. $35,000 you could increase your net worth by. Those are important numbers to consider when you're debating whether purchasing or renting is better for you. So we find that a lot of customers who are debating between renting or owning have two big concerns: down payment and credit score. So the first concern is that you need to have a 20% down payment in order to purchase a home. It's really surprising how many people actually believe that you still need 20% down to purchase a home, and it really is not the case. With all of the mortgage options that we have available these days, there are so many things, so many options that you have to choose from. So depending on your individual scenario, there are mortgage options with as little as 3.5% or even 3% down, which makes it much more affordable for customers trying to buy their first home. If you are a former military or active duty military, you actually could qualify for a VA loan with nothing down, 0% down. So there are so many options out there for you guys. Do not get caught up in the thought that you need 20% down. We can make that more affordable for you. So the second concern is that you need to have a 750 or better credit score, and this also is not the case. Our average FICO score on closed loans over the past 12 months has been hovering right around the 720s, but keep in mind there are also loan options for customers in the low 700s and the upper 600s. Talking to a mortgage lender can help you determine the best loan options for your given credit score and for your income, and it's free to do. So definitely it's a first step that you should be taking to see if purchasing is right for you. It's a smart first step to take, so don't be afraid to do that. So once we actually review the numbers and talk about loan options, most customers, at least in Pittsburgh, decide that it's a better investment typically to own a home rather than rent. However, there are some situations where renting perhaps may not be the best choice. So for example, I understand that our entry-level home in Pittsburgh is much, much lower in price than some other places. So if you happen to live in an area where entry-level homes are priced much higher, it might make more sense to rent and save for a while before attempting to purchase a home on your own. Also, you have to consider if you are in a job where you are likely to be transferred, or for whatever reason you don't plan on staying put in your home for more than a couple years, it may not make sense for you to purchase. We typically say that you want to stay in a home for at least 5 years in order to recover your closing costs. And of course, that varies depending on where you live. In Pittsburgh, typically we say you want to stick around about 5 years in order to break even on the purchase price of your home, along with all of the closing costs. So if you know you're going to be moving soon, it may make the most sense to rent until you can commit to putting down some roots for several years. So those are just a couple things to consider if you are considering giving up your rental and buying a new home. I can't wait to see your comments and your questions. So go ahead, leave your comments down below. Give us a thumbs up if you like the content of this video. This also might be one of those videos that you need to share with a friend who's on the fence as to whether or not buying or renting is better for them. So please do feel free to share that with your friends. Well, that's all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you next time.